My name's Aidan Cassidy. I'm a production technician at Affinity Water and I am studying utilities engineering. Honestly, I didn't expect it as it fully changed. As I'm only 19 and only left school about a year and a half ago, I was just like, ugh, work. But the more I researched about it and the more I actually learned on the job, I just got more excited to learn more about the water industry and everything works and also how to fix it if it goes wrong. A normal day to me consists of a meeting in the morning with my line manager and other production technicians. We just talk about future updates happening at Affinity Water, jobs which have gone wrong in the past, which talk about how to fix them, but also just updates in our region of what's happening. After that, we get onto the road and I shadow other product technicians and they show me the ropes on how to fix things and also a thing we call Maximo, which is just maintenance work and keeping everything up to standard. However, some days aren't always the same, things do pop up, and I might go out there and we just think on spot, use your knowledge on how to fix it at that time. To balance this, it is actually very easy at Affinity Water. They give full focus on apprentices and they understand it isn't easy. So they give me a full dedicated day a week just to get over my coursework, make sure everything's completed, and when it is, they'll put me on something new to learn. With the training, for me, I live 2 hours away from any training course centres, so they'll give me the right accommodation just for when I get there, I'm in the right headspace and have the full ability to learn.
Hi, my name's Millie, and I'm doing a level 3 HR administration apprenticeship at Northumbrian Water Group. I initially started doing the administration and advisory side of things, and since that, I have moved throughout the different core HR teams. So I went to payroll, and now I'm in recruitment. So it's given me an opportunity to go down different avenues of different parts of HR that I didn't actually know I would get the chance to ever do. I decided this route was right for me at this stage because I previously enrolled to a university and I later decided that it just wasn't for me. It's a lot of textbook work, a lot of hardcore studying, and I always thought that I learned better when I'm experiencing something hands-on. That's the type of person I am, and that's what I'm naturally aligned with. So having an apprenticeship opportunity really allowed me to get that experience to equip me to the workplace. Um, Whilst I learned about the role as well. So it was really helpful for me starting out a career. I knew that this was the place I was going to start out my career as soon as I stepped foot in the door because I was so welcomed. And ever since I started, I've thoroughly enjoyed what I've been doing. Just the learning aspect as a whole has been great. Everything that I've learned so far has contributed somewhat to not only my professional life, but also my personal skills and attributes. And I really realised that this was for me when I got to decide which areas I liked the most. I got that experience to do different parts of HR and see the world of work whilst I learnt something and earned money at the same time. Um, yeah. I would definitely recommend this route to graduates or career changers because, like I said, I dropped out of university. I thought that was the route I wanted to go down. But then I later decided that I wanted to do something completely different. And this is a perfect place to get started if you don't already have the experience and skills that some employers are looking for. I didn't have a qualification in HR, but this has allowed me the chance to actually gain a qualification and the experience to go with it to equip my work and life in future. So I definitely think it's for people of all age groups. It's not always just for 16-year-olds and school leavers. Anyone at any age can do an apprenticeship, and I think it's a great opportunity.
My name is Harvey Owen. I started as a South East Water customer service apprentice. I've now developed into a customer service assistant manager. Throughout my time doing the apprenticeship, I have progressively been trusted to do more and more and take on more added responsibility. I've gained so much knowledge through and information through doing the apprenticeship, and it has now aided me to becoming an assistant manager and developing within my role. Within my role, I'm provided a lot of time within the week to make sure that I'm completing all the work that's been assigned to me by the apprenticeship trainer, while also having enough time within the week to also fulfill my role and make sure I'm doing that to the best of my ability. I think there are many skills that I've gained while working through the apprenticeship and developing within my role. I think one of the main things is confidence. When I first started, I didn't have much confidence, but since then it has grown a lot to help me within my role and grow further.
Hello, my name is Jacob Tofts. I'm a graduate management trainee at Southern Water, working towards a team leader level 3 apprenticeship on the side of my graduate scheme. When I first joined Southern Water and started out in the industry, I wasn't aware of how much work that we do with the natural environment. And I've been really surprised and delighted to see that we work with the environment in such a close proximity, ensuring that we look after it now and for future generations. When I first applied for my role at Southern Water, I wasn't aware that it came alongside an apprenticeship, but having found out that when I first started, I was really pleased and happy, as I see it as a extra way to gain new skills that I haven't previously learned in my degree or my previous education. And I think that it's going to open up so many new avenues for me in the future in terms of leading others and helping support the development of other people in the business. When I first joined Southern Water, I was really surprised and delighted to see how much we work with local people and local communities, engaging and educating across our catchments. I work in the environment department, and we do a lot of work with our catchment partnerships, working with NGOs, charities and local groups to ensure that we look after our catchments holistically and work together for the future.
Hi, my name is Daniel Thompson. I'm an apprentice project manager on a level 6 integrated degree program studying with the University of Cumbria, based at Thames Water, currently working on the Guildford relocation major project. I was drawn to join the water industry and specifically Thames Water because I'm particularly passionate and interested in the environment. So to have the opportunity to work so directly in it and also working to make positive change and impact on how we as people and communities impact the environment and vice versa was really fascinating to me, and I absolutely love working in this area. So I work very closely with my immediate colleagues and my line manager. I have a weekly catch up with my line manager. And once every quarter, there are two particular meetings that I have. One is with my engagement partner from the company at Thames Water. And we discuss how I feel that I'm getting on with the apprenticeship. Are there any particular areas where I feel that I need to gain more experience, or if anything is too challenging? There's really open opportunity where I can really share and feel comfortable to share anything that is on my mind or that I'm concerned about, or maybe particularly wanting to try something new. And the other quarterly meeting that I have is a tripartite review with a learning provider representative and my line manager as well, who we together discuss my results that I'm getting at the university. Then I can share my own opinions again and thoughts on how I'm getting on in my workplace, how I'm getting on specifically at university and how those classes are going. I can provide feedback for the lecturers and all sorts. Again, is very open and flexible. And then finally, my line manager will provide feedback on my performance at work, sharing what their thoughts are, how they feel that I'm getting on, anything they think that I should be working to progress and develop. And to close that meeting, we collectively set a number of smart targets, perhaps between 4 to 6, that we will review for the next tripartite review. So I'm contracted 36 hours to work full time for Thames, and I study 1 day a week with the University of Cumbria online. And this time commitment is tough to balance, but it is very manageable if you are disciplined and keep to a tight schedule. If you can set aside the time, maybe put your out of office on the day that you're studying, then your colleagues are more often than not very happy to leave you to that time. If you need more time to do an exam, then they're very willing and open to you being honest and saying, look, I'm struggling a bit. I need to take less responsibility so I can focus on my assignment. Everyone in my experience has been very understanding. You know, many of them have been through university and studying before. They know what it's like when that exam or essay deadline is coming up, and they're very happy for you to take as much time as you need to focus on your priorities.
Yeah, hi. So I'm Marnie Prosser, and I work for Welsh Water. And the role I'm currently in is operational production supervisor within the water production area of the business. Yeah, so I think having gone through school and being quite keen on the sort of science and maths-based studies, I was a bit unsure of what I wanted to do. Wasn't sure if I wanted to go to uni. I felt like I was sort of done with full-time education, but knew I wasn't done with education totally. So I think that was the attraction, obviously, then of an apprenticeship, being able to learn on the job, work, but then get paid and still have qualifications at the end of it. Obviously, being from Wales myself, yeah, Welsh Water was a really renowned and well thought after company. So yeah, sounded it out, discussed it sort of with my parents at the time. And wanted a hands-on role, which is what attracted me to obviously the mechanical fitting apprenticeship, which is what I ended up doing. And the business in general, like I said, had a really, really positive sort of name for itself within Wales. And I thought that was something that I would really love to be a part of, and obviously providing customers with a service that is absolutely critical. Yeah, so a bit of context really first. So after completing my apprenticeship, I focused on really building relationships within the company and staying connected with colleagues across all areas of the business. Taking full advantage of internal training sessions, volunteering for projects outside of my usual responsibilities. Like I say, as we all know, networking is a really, really vital part of the role. And it wasn't just about meeting people, sort of about just demonstrating reliability and willingness to learn, which I feel has opened doors for me to progress to the point that I'm in now in my supervisory role. To be honest, it's just doing a lot more of that in the future, continuing that networking, continuing that hard work, building strong relationships across people within other areas of the business. And ideally, I'd love to obviously progress further and, yeah, one day be head of production, which is probably my shorter long-term goal. Just make the most of every opportunity that comes your way. We're obviously quite a unique sector, providing obviously portable drinking water to customers that you need to obviously keep you alive, as well as providing the waste system that obviously the country and infrastructure wouldn't survive without. Ask questions, be curious, get involved with as much as you can. The more exposure you get, obviously, within the water business, the more confident you'll become. You'll build lasting relationships like I have with people across, obviously, not just the water sector, but obviously all the other sectors that feed in to the service we provide. and just take ownership of your journey. Like I say, my apprenticeship was absolute footing and the foundation of my career, and just make the most of every opportunity that comes your way, because I definitely did. And yeah, it's got me to where I am today.
Hi, I'm Bethany Stevenson. I'm an apprentice at Wessex Water in the catchment team. So I'm a catchment advisor. So that's working with farmers to promote sustainable practices. And it's a degree apprenticeship, which is an environmental practitioner apprenticeship with UE Bristol. I've gained skills such as communicating with farmers and influencing them, which could be transferred to other roles. And I've learnt to use software like GIS for making maps for going on farm visits, and using coding to produce graphs from the data we collect. Yeah, so with Wessex Water, we have 1 day of volunteering a year. So when I started my apprenticeship in the induction, we got to do volunteering with the other apprentices. And now each year we do it in our teams. So for example, this year we went to Brownsea Island where we did some volunteering and got to see the red squirrels. And also I've been lucky in my role with the environment team. I've been able to go in different teams, such as the biodiversity team recently, where we do things like hedge planting. I first heard about the role at an online careers event where they were advertising the catchment role. And then I went to the apprenticeship day, which is in Bath, and I learned more about the environment team and decided to apply.
Hi, my name's Ethan Brailsford. I'm an emergency preparedness and resilience degree apprentice at Yorkshire Water. I'm currently 5 months into my journey here, so relatively new to the water industry and this aspect as well. I'm in a team of 6 specialists, including myself. Obviously, I'm not the specialist, I'm the apprentice. And I've got an engineering background after studying my BTEC, so fresh into it, as I said. I don't think there's such thing as a normal day for me, since one day is no similar to the next. But I suppose the general structure is I'm based at the Buttershore site in Bradford in central control, where I sit with my team of 6, as mentioned earlier, and it's a very reactive role in terms of that it depends what's going on that day. One day I could be talking to Nicola Shaw, CEO. Next day I could be talking to someone from a local resilience forum, LRF. I could actually be talking to stakeholders firsthand to an incident. So yeah, in terms of who I speak to, it's really, really diverse. And I quite like the fact you get chucked into the deep end with it a bit. It sort of, makes me prone to those real life situations. And me personally, I love to chat. So it's brilliant when I get to talk to all those different sort of people. What I enjoy most about the training is the fact, obviously, it is a level 6 degree apprenticeship, and for me that was the next step to take in my career. But also the fact of that, the way it's structured the learning. So obviously I balance my full-time role at Yorkshire Water as an EP&R specialist alongside studying at university down in Coventry. And we do that by having fortnightly sessions online where I'll learn the principles of emergency preparedness and resilience. And every quarter we'll go down to Coventry where we'll have a block week there. Yorkshire will obviously help me and provide me with the facilities to learn there. It's like booking accommodation, etc., etc. And I'll get to meet and network with fellow students within the cohort. And one thing I actually quite like about that is the amount of different people who are actually on the course, because I myself am fairly young at 19, fairly new into it. Whereas, as joking aside, there's some people there who's got grandkids a year or two younger than me. So it can be quite daunting at times, but the people there are lovely. Everyone I've met so far have been fantastic. And yeah, I just think the more I go, the more I learn, the more familiar I'll get with it, the more comfortable I'll get. Yeah, so we actually did a team collaboration day last week where we went to ECUP and just had a bit of a sort of just generic chat, really, just figure out what everyone's doing, sort of scope for the future. Obviously, with the new year coming around, sort of reviewing progress we made last year. Obviously, myself was new, so obviously seeing how that's going so far and moving into the new year, what more things I can work on and sort of develop. Very early on when I started, we did some LRF collaboration days with the local resilience forums, where we basically had a load of people from the local areas like South Yorkshire, for example. We'd have police, fire, council, etc., come in, and we basically collaborate over emergency plans and review that, and maybe even sometimes do some exercising and training. And then, yeah, to round that off, I've been on various different site visits with obviously members of my team and also members from the control room. And it's just sort of nice to sort of see, instead of being sat at a desk and sort of a plan full of words, an actual sort of site that this plan applies for and how that applies and how that may look in terms of a crisis.
I'm Steph. I'm carrying out a level 3 apprenticeship in leakage with United Utilities. After working 10 years in planning, I'd reached a point where I wanted a career change. I was looking for something more hands-on and more future-proof. I'd taken the steps by going to night school and gaining qualifications in plumbing, and an apprenticeship felt like the right route for me to sort of build on a long-term career rather than just changing jobs. So initially I was looking for something within the plumbing industry. And then whilst researching, I came across the leakage technician apprenticeship and realised how closely the water industry links with plumbing. It felt like a natural fit with me, combining an existing interest with an industry that offers a variety of career prospects. So the progression opportunities are one of the biggest reasons I chose to make the career move. The water industry offers a wide range of career paths, from developing into a more technical role to even going into manager roles in the future. And due to the support I've received on my apprenticeship, I'm on track to finish my apprenticeship early, which has highlighted how much opportunity there is to grow and progress within the industry.